Do you guys feel the same? Where my parents always told me, when you go to university, that's where you grow up. That's that's
what they said.
yeah. Because that's where you're like treated as an adult, right?
Right.
With responsibility and stuff. But anyone who's still in university, it's such a warped experience of what adult life is like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
because I guess university is kind of like the ramp to being an adult, the way I saw it. Like, there was people there who left university who I'm like, you should not be living alone. Like, you cannot take care of yourself. And then there's other people who I'm like, they'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like I
feel like if you can't take care of yourself at uni, you're really gonna have a hard time taking care of yourself after uni as well.
Oh, we've definitely met those people.
I know. Like, half people I lived with were like incapable. Like, one of them was like a serial gambler and like lost all his money. And like
one of my friends was the same.
Yeah.
One time he won 10K. 10K for a uni student in a
insane.
casino.
That's insane. Yeah.
Which is insane.
Basically a millionaire at
And
that point.
yeah. You're basically a fucking millionaire. And everyone's like, no fucking way you won that much. He lost it within 2 weeks. 2 weeks because he was so addicted to gambling. It's fucking insane.
Oh god.
And I asked him, so how could you spend that much? You could have paid off your student loans and everything.
Yeah.
And I remember him just saying, oh, it's because it just didn't mean anything to me. Because
there was like a guy in the house next to me, the one that got pooped in, as you gentlemen know.
Yeah. As we all know.
And he was like basically like a neo-Nazi, and he was really fucking weird. And he would always come over and bring like 2 40-year-old women, and he was like having threesomes with them both, and he would exclusively refer to them as like sugar tits. Like,
did he like time travel from the 50s?
No, and he was like, and I remember one time because my friends
give me sugar tits.
So yeah, he was literally like that. And my friend was telling me, he was like, yeah, it's really weird. He was like mixing chemicals in his room, and I was like, bro, tell the fucking university people. Like, what do you mean he's mixing chemicals in his room?
You're really doing a good job like selling on whales as being like this.
Where'd you go again?
I don't want to name the university in case they get really mad at me. But
Bristol University represent?
Sydney Uni.
You can find out what university.
It's not that hard. It's somewhere out there.
Yeah.
He was always that guy who was like, when like someone would talk about a fight, they were like, well, if I had my Glock there, it would be over. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, what? What do you mean?
Like, come again?
It's just that there's guys who are like, yeah, I know how to use a gun. Like, it's like, yeah, a gun would fix that.
Yeah,
like, always. And it's
of
like,
course.
he like talks about guns too much. He brought up like Mein Kampf, like an uncomfortable amount of time.
Right.
Like, I remember
My favorite piece of literature.
he was like, I remember one time, it's like, his excuse for not doing an assignment was because he was too in depth into reading about Nazi history and how interesting it was. And like, that's always like a double-edged sword when they're telling
It's like
you
a
that.
red flag.
Yeah, it's like, are you interested in it or like interested in it? Like, are you like...
This sounds like an episode of Peep Show or
It
something.
is, yeah, it is. It was. I luckily never had to deal with it, but my friend did. And apparently one time my friend who was telling me all this had borrowed something from the neo-Nazi character.
Yeah.
And it was in his room, and his room was locked. And so this guy didn't want to wait 30 minutes to do it. So he just took all the bolts off his door with like a screwdriver set and just removed the door and went in and never gave him his like door back, like the stuff. So, for like 2 weeks before the university came in and fixed it, the dude had no door. And he had like a gaming PC and everything. Like, the dude just had no door. And the front door to this bungalow was always left open.
There's taking, like utensils.
Yeah.
And then there's taking a door.
He like took the door, like the door
hinges,
handle, all the hinges. He just took it off. And just removed the door to like the side, like it's like a caveman with a stone entrance, like oonga boonga. I need my keys or something, whatever it was. And he just did like this dude was insane. He was the kind of guy who like when you were around him for 5 minutes, you were like, I don't want to be around you anymore. Like, you've said too many uncomfortable things in 5 minutes. And when he brought his 2 40-year-old women girlfriends around, I'm like, they're disgusting. Get them out of my house.
His sugar tits.
Yeah, it's so gross. I was like 20, like cleaning my dishes. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?